Hello, welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
Hi, Joanne. So what do you think we should cover today?
Well, I was thinking we could talk maybe about the whole batch entry process in accounting and how that works in the different modules.
Sure.
Okay.
That's a good topic. Before we go to the program, I guess just a couple of things to note. When we look at the accounting section, really it's the three modules, AR, AP, and GL, that'll be working in the batch mode. When we look at cash book, it's really just individual transactions. There's no batch processing there.
Okay.
So it's just the other three.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, in the batch system, there's a date that's on the batch, and then there's a date that's on the transaction. Can we talk a little about what the difference is between those?
Yep. All right. Let's go to the program. We'll take a look. So I'll open up to the batch entry side here. This is an accounts receivable, but if we look at AR or AP and GL, it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got a batch open here. You see there is a date on the top that's associated with the batch. There's also a date down at the bottom here that's associated with the transactions that are within the batch.
Okay.
And there is a pretty big difference between both of them. So the date on the batch is important because that's what's going to trigger going into the general ledger.
Okay.
So that's real important with how things are going to post within the GL, what period it's going to post within the GL.
Okay.
The transaction dates at the bottom are important for, on the AR side, like your sales reports, all the different transaction type reports. So sales, tax reports, the aging, of course, the big one there.
Okay.
So there is a pretty big difference there with those two.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it possible to have a different date in a batch, for a batch date than you have for a transaction date?
The system will allow it, although it is system setting protected.
Okay.
In all three of the modules that work with the batch entry. A lot of people wouldn't necessarily want to have them different, at least outside the period.
Okay.
They can be different from a day or two, as long as they're within the same month.
Okay.
But the big caveat with having them different outside of the period, like if you're going to batch something for May, but you're going to have a transaction in June or April, that's going to potentially cause an issue if you're looking at reports.
Okay.
Because on the batch side, we're posting into the GL in 1 month, but if the transaction date is going to a different period, what's going to be on the aging report effective another month.
Okay.
So if your transaction date is April, it's on the aging report in April, but if the batch date's May, it's not going to show up in the balance sheet till May. So there are some rules there that would apply, and there are check boxes, like I mentioned, on the in the system settings in AR and AP to make sure those at least are from the same period.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I create a batch that's dated for a period that's outside of the current era that the system is set up for? Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the system will allow it. Going forward, there is no user right or restriction in place.
Okay.
So if you're working in May and you want to post something to June, you can change the date forward. There won't be any restriction there. But going backwards, there is a restriction back on the user manager setup. So you can, you can dictate which users have the ability to put things back into a closed period, because you may not want people updating, once you've closed the period.
I see. Okay.
So the system will let you go backwards, and that'll be true across all three modules.
Okay, great.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that was great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Well, thanks for watching. This was another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
Please look forward for more to come.